Who's number one, Sam?
The best player under the age of 25 in the NFL, I believe, and so do you, is Kyle Hamilton, Baltimore Ravens safety slash nickel hybrid. Again, just cheat code weapon in the secondary. We talked about him before as being the best safety in the NFL. What makes him special, though, I think, we've nitpicked all the other players on this list as having some kind of flaw, and maybe it's not a critical flaw, but it's just enough to make you rank them second or third or fourth or fifth on a list. Hamilton isn't just the best safety in the NFL, but I think he's arguably the best at every specific element of being safety. So he might be the best free safety in the NFL. He might be the best strong safety in the NFL. And he might be the best tight end eraser slash slot weapon, hybrid. And he's the best at all of those things at the same time. Nobody else is like that. Like, there's no other player, I think, where you can argue you can play what is effectively 3 or 4 different distinct positions and be the best at all of them at the same time.
Yeah.
I can't think of another player that really fits into that category. You would think wide receivers have that kind of thing as well. Like, there's a difference between an X receiver and a slot receiver, but it would be like a guy being the best X, slot, and tight end in the league at the same time. And there's no one that's in that category.
Yeah, it is really tough to come up with a comparison. You and I both love Brian Branch because of that versatility. And I think Kyle Hamilton is just like a souped up version of Branch. No offense to Branch. We love Branch. He's 7 for you. But it's similar. I mean, you are asking different roles. He comes into the league as a guy that's like, man, unbelievable free safety range. Then he starts playing down in and around the box, or in the slot. He could play in the box, or he could play free safety. Those are different skill sets. The receiver, it is tough to find a comparison because the receiver skill set, it is slightly different winning from the slot, from the outside, but it's like you have to run routes and get open.
Yeah.
And what you found in the NFL is the slot's just easier for the elite receivers anyway, right? Whereas you can't just take any free safety and make him a box safety and make him a slot corner, because it is 3 unique skill sets. And so he's just an elite football player at whatever the Ravens want him to do. And so I think later this week, we're going to rank the best units in the NFL. And say what you want about adding Jair Alexander to the Baltimore Ravens secondary. That could be just a pipe dream that he becomes good, or he might just play 5 games. But having Kyle Hamilton back there, adding Malachi Starks, who's versatile in his own right, I mean, just having Kyle Hamilton back there makes all of the rest of the Ravens secondary that much better, because it's like, all right, well, Marlon Humphrey can play wherever is best for him, and Nate Wiggins can play where is best for him. Malachi Starks, if Starks is just great at free safety and does not play well in the slot, okay, then he's your free safety, and Kyle Hamilton, plays whatever role you need him to fill. He makes everyone around him better because he could play any of those roles. And, to reiterate things I've said on the show before too, we use the phrase positional value a lot in relation to where should players get drafted, how much should they get paid. But make no mistake, an elite safety, an elite linebacker, if you know you're going to get elite play, I think it's worthwhile. I think it's all worthwhile. That doesn't mean Kyle Hamilton has to make $40 million a year like Myles Garrett. It doesn't mean that. But it also means whatever he ends up making is going to be a bargain for what he brings to the table. Like, if you could guarantee elite safety play or elite linebacker play, I'll take it. Absolutely. And with Hamilton in particular, because it's multi-role and he's moved and been flexible within a season for the Ravens, whatever you need, I'll go out there and I'll play it at a high level and be a game wrecker as a move all-around safety. I mean, that is invaluable.
All right, that's enough of that, Steve. Over 50% of the people listening to this are not subscribed right now. So click that button, and then we can get back to whatever it is Steve's telling you about. I think Hamilton also shows the value of a couple of things. He shows the value of true elite play, and that thing you just talked about, like the difference between, in averages, using the weight of large numbers, all these things, safety is a generally less valuable position than other positions. But there is a value attached to simply being elite at the NFL level at anything that changes the math on all this stuff, right? The problem is you can't be sure when you have a guy that is elite versus a guy that you thought was elite and actually is just pretty good. The other thing he is the power of, like, it's versatility versus like being really versatile. Like, there are players that could play several positions of the NFL and fill in a pinch and be okay. And there is a value to that. I mean, there was value attached to Joe Thuney being able to sort of hold his own at left tackle, right? And it was particularly impressive, but there was also a value attached to it as well, that during last season, the Chiefs believed their best option was to use an elite left guard and have him survive at left tackle. He wasn't good, but he survived. And there's value attached to that because, you don't have to do certain other things to try and, rescue that position, blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot more value attached to a guy that can do those things and be really good at them, right? Like Marshall Yanda, we talked about before, the difference between Joe Thuney, who could go out, play tackle and survive, and Marshall Yanda, who could go out, play tackle and be just as good at it as he was at guard, which is like all pro level. Like, that's a different level of value entirely. So Hamilton shows like that's real versatility. He can play what is effectively 3 different positions within the secondary and do them all to an all pro level. There's so much value attached to that, because you can call any defense you want, and he's the guy that moves around to make it happen. Like, that's so valuable and so powerful within a schematic makeup that I think is, again, it shows the power of, like, everybody's looking for that. When you talk about these guys that are versatile, that's what you want. Now, almost nobody can do that. And so most people aren't really versatile, but that's true versatility at the NFL level. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of our video.
For more great content, click here to subscribe and here to watch another video. We'll see you again soon.